everybody. It's the end of May, in spring in Appalachia. It's still considered spring here. It's not quite summer yet. This is our yard, and you can see over there where we've mowed actually twice, and the rest of this stuff is over here is growing wild, and it's been really wet. We've probably got 14 inches of rain in the past month and a half, easily. And so finding dry stuff on the ground is kind of a challenge. One of the things that grows everywhere in North America is the dandelion. Not only are all the parts edible, they're not all tasty at all times of the year, but all the parts are edible. You can start doing kind of this kind of number. We're going to move on over to this patch. I'm just pulling off the seeds. I'm not actually grabbing the heads or anything. I think this is a cool plant. A lot of people consider it a weed. I mean, the whole thing's edible. And you can see where I'm going with this if you know anything about anything. Walk right over here. I kind of like to let my yard grow wild a lot. I mean, like right here I can spot like 4 edible plants. We've got like the dandelion, we've got plantain, there's some chickweed over here, and well, we got chestnut trees right in front of us, so I mean that's just like an easy call. Plus, like right behind us over here, all up in this cut, there's a bunch of grapevine over to the right, and over here where you're looking right now, berries grow all through there. So I kind of like to let the yard grow up a little bit. I'm going to move on up into here. I noticed this coming back from my flower garden earlier. All this over here though is like dandelion, and all these things are edible. Like most of the yard here is an edible thing. So
could you show us some plantain?
Plantain. All right, what you're looking for on plantain is veins, not ribs. 5 of them, generally speaking, and as far as I understand, even the root of this is edible, but kind of like spinach, but it comes on with its own flavor towards the end, but it's not bitter like an arugula or anything like that. So I'm just going to walk through here and increase the seed dispersal and try and kind of collect as much of this as I can. This is a curly dock or something, but it's not. I don't know what that is. Yeah, all this in here is pretty much plantain. Oh, and these guys down here? No, I don't know what that is. Need to figure that out though. I don't see any of the violets right this second. But we have a lot of them growing in this area. They're real heavy up in here. You can already see though, I'm starting to actually accumulate something that's, I mean, that can be fluffed out, but I'm actually grabbing it, sort of. That was pretty. Cool, huh? If somebody can tell me what this kind of grass is, I'm really grateful. It screams, eat me, harvest me, do something with me. But I don't know what that is. And I'd be interested in knowing. I know this guy right here is edible. The seed head to this. Although it's kind of chafy when you try and swallow it. So I'm going to go down here and we've collected a little bit of sticks on the way up here. And we'll set light to this and get us a fire from ferrocerium rod. While Sammy chews sticks. Okay, so now I've got some grass, some I don't know what that is, some reeds, and a huge ball of dandelion fluff. Buttercup, don't eat those. Not good for you. Don't eat the buttercup. There's a storm coming in. I don't know if you can hear the thunder in the background, but it's definitely coming. Plus Wanda's collected a few things over here. Is this stuff for you?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm gonna have to walk across the creek here and get some more kindling. It's not really all that exciting. I don't know if you can hear this or not, but that crack, that easy break is what you're looking for when you're looking for kindling. And what I'm really trying to do is get the tips off of everything. I'm going to make a pile of that. And then I'm going to go back over this branch sitting on the ground here. I could be getting something out of the tree. It's kind of what I'd recommend, but this is kind of in the trail for me too, and I'm sort of trying to deal with this bush, or limb rather. So slowly I'll just pick at it. And if you're in a real emergency situation, which if you are, well then being about this speed and calm is a good thing. But if you really are, well, I hope you can find stuff like this. And I would also recommend that, man, you have at least about 5 times this much if you are really in an emergency. Oftentimes you'll find that the wood's a bit wetter than you think it is, and really once you get radiant flame, the only way to keep it going is to keep adding kindling. And by doing that, you're going to be able to ignite larger wood and create a coal bed. And a coal bed is what you want to sustain a fire, because you can burn anything soaking wet on top of the right coal bed. Alright, so we got our little bit of kindling. Gonna cheat again. I'm a cheater, notorious cheater. I'm gonna take this over here and see what we can start up. We don't have any mid-sized stuff at all, man. All we've got is like twigs and kindling.
Okay, action.
It's pretty dry out here, or it's drier than it normally is. So, carry a lighter. It's pretty dry, so I don't think I really need like a hearth so much. I think I can probably start the fire right on top of the ground. But I'm a hearth guy, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I see a piece over there that I think I'm gonna try and use. I like to keep a piece of wood in between the ground and my fire, at least when I'm starting it. And in that way, like, you know, if you just get used to it, whenever you're in the rain or the snow or anything like that, you're already thinking about like what you're going to use as your cold bed. Drying out the ground is a really difficult thing to do when it's wet. Menthols, smoke them if you got them. I like this guy. No. Filming this stuff is sometimes prohibitively difficult. This is Sammy, and he is the stick monster. So I'm gonna need to find me a stick. Attentive dog. Ready? I'm not trying to throw him across you because he'll go right through. Go get it! Now I like this stick. I like this stick for a couple reasons. That's why I like this stick. That is a good, well, there we go. That's a good fireboard right through here. It's a nice little hearth to start your fire on. Any coals that you actually get going will fall onto this instead of the wet ground. And that's what you're looking for. You're trying to keep the fire off the ground. Freaking doodah. Sammy? I also like to use other things to break things, and well, here's a rock. You can see all the splits in this. How it's split all over, and I'm going to try and use those natural splits to, well, it didn't happen so good for me that time, but I'm going to try and use those splits to do things without a larger tool. And all that's kind of nice and dry. Looks good. Good for it. Sammy, I'm going to need you to go sit down, buddy.
Sammy, come. Sammy.
He's geared. Let me throw him one. Come on, man. Go get it. Magoofus. Really starting to track a lot of water through here. It's about to rain, so I'm going to quit messing about, and I need to break this one up fairly quickly afterwards, because we don't have a lot of that middle-sized stuff. We got some over here and here, but not much else. Now this is the dandelion that I collected earlier, and there's some reeds that found while we were collecting the dandelion. I'm going to put a little of this grass down. So I'm going to try and actually do my bird's nest slightly unconventionally. I'm going to try and leave it right here instead of handling it. This is my finest stuff, so I'm going to throw this on top as soon as I get it, and then I'm going to go to these very thin twigs right here, right on top of that, and then I'm going to move into this, and then I'm going to move into this stick, and then I'm going to move into that pile. This is a bed, by the way. I hate to look all junky. This was here when we got here. We just had to move it out of a spot. I think it might have been a couch. Hippies. And we're going to turn that into something else later on, actually. I have a plan for that. So,
Tell me a little bit about the Ferrocium rod.
well, I don't know much about Ferrocium other than when you strike hard carbon across it.
And there we go.
No.
Nope. Dandelion likes it. The metal match.
Yes.
It works when it's wet is key. It's a great tool to have with you. Matches get wet, lighters will freeze. The metal match is a weather-resistant way to make fire, and the Ferrocium rods are available in just about any camping section of store or your local hardware store. Buy local, eat local. And
sorry, this is not.
I'm gonna
Aimed at
get a better view for you all.
Got something poking me.
The trick to a Ferrocium rod is having extremely dry, highly flammable tinder, such as this dandelion. We started a fire the other day in the rain, and the pine sap really helped.
Where is the pine sap? Oh, it's over there.
Here.
I don't think we're gonna need
Would
it.
the pine sap take a light?
I don't think so.
There it goes.
Tools go back in your pocket as soon as you can get them back in. Dandelion, food, fire. Yay. So this is my video on ferrocerium rod, walking out in the yard, starting a fire, Appalachia. Thanks for watching.